Respected dreamers, visionaries, and anyone who has ever felt that fire inside but didn't know how to ignite it fully, listen closely for just a moment, because what I'm about to share with you could change the way you think about success forever. Imagine achieving your goals faster, easier, and smarter than you ever thought possible, not through luck, not through endless struggle, but by mastering the unseen forces that shape every achievement in your life. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that your life is no longer a series of compromises and missed opportunities, but a clear path where everything you desire begins to fall naturally into place. That is what I want to show you today. Let me take you back to a story that changed the way I see everything about success. There was a man who had every reason to quit. Life had thrown challenges at him, financial struggles, personal setbacks, and the kind of self-doubt that keeps people awake at night. But one day, he realized something profound. Success is not about working harder than everyone else. It's about thinking differently, connecting the dots that others overlook, and using your mind in a way that aligns with what the universe is already offering. And in that moment, he didn't just decide to keep going, he decided to do it smarter, faster, and easier. He started to leverage the hidden strategies that top performers use, not just in business, but in life itself. Here's the truth that most people never tell you: we are wired to work hard, to grind endlessly, and to chase success as if it's a trophy at the end of an exhausting race. And yet, we often miss the simplest truth. Success flows to those who understand how to align their thoughts, emotions, and actions with the natural laws that govern achievement. It's not about luck, it's not about connections, and it's certainly not about trying to outwork everyone else. It's about mastering the game from the inside out. Think about it for a second. How many times have you seen someone work tirelessly, sacrifice sleep, and stress endlessly, yet they never reach their true potential? And then you've seen someone else, seemingly with fewer resources, fewer connections, even fewer advantages, rise effortlessly, achieving what others only dream of. The difference isn't talent, it isn't luck. It's understanding the smarter way to achieve. It's using strategies that multiply results instead of multiplying effort. And that is exactly what we are going to uncover together. This journey is not just about giving you techniques. It's about shifting the way you see yourself, the way you see challenges, and the way you see the very idea of success. You will start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You will begin to act with clarity where others act in confusion. And most importantly, you will learn to trust that the path to success doesn't have to be long, grueling, or full of pain. It can be aligned, effortless, and extraordinarily powerful. Before we dive deeper, let me tell you one more story. A young entrepreneur, filled with ideas but overwhelmed by fear, came to me and said, "I don't know how to get ahead. I feel stuck, like no matter what I do, I'm spinning in circles." And I said to him, "You're not stuck. You're simply using the wrong map. What if I could show you a way to achieve more in months than most people do in years?" That's when he learned the first principle of achieving success: smarter, faster, and easier. It all starts with clarity. Clarity of purpose, clarity of action, clarity of mind. Without clarity, even the most ambitious effort is wasted energy. With clarity, even small, focused steps can move mountains. And this is where most people fail. They try to do everything at once. They think success is about more effort, more stress, more sleepless nights. But the real secret is the opposite. The real secret is learning how to direct your energy, your focus, and your decisions in ways that create exponential results. That is what we are about to explore. How to work smarter, how to create momentum that feels almost effortless, and how to design a life where success comes not as a struggle, but as a natural outcome of alignment, strategy, and inspired action. Now, as you sit here, I want you to take a deep breath and ask yourself, what if this year everything changed? What if the next months of your life were different from anything you've experienced before, simply because you decided to approach success smarter, faster, and easier? This isn't just motivation, this is a blueprint. And once you understand it, you'll never look at success the same way again. Now that we've opened the door to the possibility of achieving success smarter, faster, and easier, it's time to understand the first key principle that separates ordinary effort from extraordinary results: your mindset. Your mind is the engine of your life, the invisible force that either propels you forward or keeps you trapped in the same loops year after year. Too many people underestimate the power of their thoughts, believing that hard work alone will carry them to the finish line. But here's the truth. Hard work without the right mindset is like running on a treadmill. You expend energy, but you don't move forward. Let me share a story. There was a woman who had dreams bigger than anything she had ever dared to speak out loud. She wanted to build a business that could change lives, but fear and self-doubt were constant companions. Every time she tried to take action, her mind whispered, "You're not ready. You don't have what it takes." She was exhausted from working late nights, hustling harder than anyone she knew, yet results remained distant. Then, one day, she made a simple but profound choice: to rewire her thoughts, to replace fear with belief, and to imagine herself not as someone struggling, but as someone already achieving. Within months, doors she had never even seen before began to open. Opportunities appeared, partnerships formed, and the results weren't just faster, they were easier because she had aligned her inner world with her outer actions. This is what I mean when I say achieving success smarter is not about doing more, it's about thinking differently. Your thoughts shape your decisions shape your habits shape your results, and your results shape your life. If you can change what you believe is possible, you change the trajectory of everything. But here's where most people get stuck. They try to change by forcing themselves, by sheer willpower. They set goals, make plans, and then beat themselves up when life doesn't bend to their expectations. That approach is exhausting, frustrating, and often unsustainable. The smarter path is to harness the power of your subconscious mind, the part of you that is constantly guiding, predicting, and influencing your reality without you even realizing it. By aligning your conscious goals with your subconscious beliefs, you create a force multiplier. What used to take years now takes months. What used to feel impossible now feels inevitable. Let's make this practical. Imagine your life as a high-performance vehicle. Hard work alone is pressing the accelerator harder and harder, hoping for speed. Working smarter is upgrading the engine, tuning the fuel, and aligning the tires so that every push forward propels you farther and faster. Your mind is the engine. Your focus is the fuel. Your habits are the tires that grip the road. And the smarter, faster, easier approach is learning how to optimize all three at the same time. Another story to illustrate this: a man I know had struggled in business for years. He had the ideas, the energy, and the ambition, but nothing seemed to stick. One day, he realized he was trying to do everything himself. He was working harder than anyone, yet results were slow and inconsistent. Then he learned the power of leverage, leveraging the right systems, the right people, and the right strategies to multiply his efforts. Suddenly, success wasn't about exhausting himself, it was about directing his energy into the areas that mattered most. Revenue grew, influence grew, his life changed. Not because he worked more, but because he worked smarter. And this is where most people miss the point. Success is not measured by how busy you are. It is measured by the results you create. And the only way to consistently create extraordinary results without burning out is to combine clarity, mindset, and leverage into a single powerful approach. That's the path to achieving smarter, faster, and easier success. Now, I want you to reflect for a moment. What parts of your life are you exhausting yourself in without seeing results? Where could you achieve more if you aligned your thinking, your focus, and your actions in a smarter way? These are the questions that separate dreamers from achievers, effort from impact, struggle from flow. And the next principle we're about to explore will take this even deeper, showing you not just how to think differently, but how to act in ways that create unstoppable momentum. Now that we've explored the power of mindset and the importance of working smarter, it's time to take the next step: momentum. Momentum is the invisible current that carries successful people forward, while others struggle against the tide. Think about it. When you're in the flow of momentum, challenges feel smaller, decisions feel clearer, and results seem to multiply almost effortlessly. But here's the catch. Momentum doesn't just happen. It's created, nurtured, and amplified by intentional action, combined with aligned thinking. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who wanted to create a life of freedom and abundance. He had ideas, he had plans, he had passion, but he kept starting and stopping. Each time he hit a small obstacle, he lost energy, he lost focus, and he ended up exactly where he started. Then he discovered the principle of consistent, focused action, not random hustle, not frenzied doing, but deliberate steps taken every single day toward a clear goal. And something incredible happened. Those small, consistent steps built momentum. One action led to another. One success led to bigger opportunities. What once felt like struggle transformed into effortless progress. His life changed because he learned to harness the power of momentum. Momentum is more than just keeping busy. It It's about aligning your daily actions with your bigger vision. Most people fail because they take actions that feel productive but are disconnected from what truly moves the needle in their lives. The smarter approach is to identify the high-leverage actions, the steps that create the most impact with the least wasted energy, and focus on them relentlessly every day, without fail. That's how you go faster, achieve more, and create a life where results begin to compound like interest in a bank account. Here's something most people don't realize. Momentum is also emotional. When you feel inspired, when you feel aligned with your purpose, you naturally take better actions, make better decisions, and attract opportunities that match your energy. That's why so many people burn out. They're trying to force momentum instead of cultivating it from the inside out. True momentum comes when your actions, your mind, and your emotions are all pointing in the same direction. It's a force that makes success easier, faster, and far more sustainable than sheer effort ever could. Let me share another story to bring this alive. A woman I knew had a dream of creating a business that could impact thousands of lives. She started with passion but little guidance. Her initial attempts were scattered. Then she discovered the power of building small wins. Each completed task, each solved problem, each milestone reached acted like fuel for the next step. Soon, she had unstoppable momentum. What once seemed impossible became inevitable. Her journey wasn't about grinding harder. It was about moving consistently in the direction of her goals, in alignment with her vision, with momentum as her ally. This is the smarter way to achieve success, clarity, mindset, leverage, and momentum. These are not abstract ideas. They are practical, actionable principles that, when combined, create a life where results multiply while effort feels lighter. And here's the exciting part. Anyone can learn this. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. You don't need more resources than you already have, and you don't have to struggle endlessly. You only need to apply these principles with intention day after day until momentum carries you forward effortlessly. Take a moment now and imagine what your life could look like if you were in momentum. If every action you took added power to your next move. If success stopped being a distant dream and started becoming your natural reality. That's the difference between working hard and working smart, between struggling to survive and thriving with purpose. And the final principle we're about to explore will take all of this to the highest level, revealing how to achieve results, not just faster and easier, but in a way that transforms your entire life. Now that we understand mindset, leverage, and momentum, it's time to explore the final, most powerful principle, alignment. Alignment is the invisible force that turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It's what separates those who work tirelessly yet struggle from those who seem to accomplish with ease and grace. Alignment is about ensuring that your thoughts, emotions, actions, and environment all point in the same direction, creating a force so powerful that success becomes almost inevitable. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who had mastered the art of working smart and creating momentum, yet something still felt missing. He was achieving more than ever before, but he was exhausted, stressed, and disconnected. Rom the life he truly wanted. Then he discovered alignment. He realized that success wasn't just about achieving goals. It was about achieving them in harmony with who he was, what he valued, and the life he wanted to live. When he began to align his daily actions with his core purpose, everything changed. Tasks that once felt like work became opportunities, challenges became lessons, and success, instead of being a struggle, became a natural byproduct of the life he was already living. Alignment is the final secret to achieving success smarter, faster, and easier. Without it, even the best strategies can feel like pushing a boulder uphill. With it, the same strategies feel effortless, even exciting. It's about asking yourself the right questions every day. Are my actions truly serving my vision? Am I focusing on what matters most or just what feels urgent? Am I operating from inspiration or obligation? The answers to these questions create a roadmap that guides your decisions and actions with clarity and purpose. Here's another real-life example. A young entrepreneur I worked with had incredible ideas and the ability to execute them, but he was scattered, juggling too many things, trying to chase every opportunity. I asked him to pause and focus on what truly aligned with his goals and values. He cut away the distractions, focused on the actions that mattered, and aligned his energy, mind, and resources. Within months, his business didn't just grow, it flourished. What once took years to achieve now felt natural, even easy. He learned that alignment doesn't mean doing less. It means doing what matters most in the most effective way possible, When you combine clarity, mindset, leverage, momentum, and alignment, something magical happens. You no longer have to rely on brute force, endless hustle, or hope. Instead, you operate in a state of flow where decisions are clearer, results come faster, and every step forward feels purposeful. You begin to live life not by accident, but by design. And that is the smarter, faster, easier way to achieve the success you've always dreamed of. So, as you sit here now, I want you to reflect. What would happen if, starting today, you committed to working smarter, not harder, to cultivating the mindset that supports your vision, leveraging your energy and resources effectively, creating unstoppable momentum, and aligning every part of your life with your deepest purpose? Imagine the doors that could open, the opportunities that could appear, and the version of yourself that you could become. Is not a dream. This is a choice. This is a blueprint, and it's available to you the moment you decide to step into it fully. If you take nothing else from this message, remember this: success is not about more effort, it's about smarter action. It's not about endless struggle, it's about intentional alignment. And it's not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating your perfect moment by mastering the P, principles that make success inevitable. And now, as we draw this journey to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and truly feel this moment. Everything we've discussed, the mindset, the leverage, the momentum, the alignment, was never just about strategies or tactics. It was about you. It was about awakening the part of you that already knows you're capable of greatness. The part of you that deserves to live a life of abundance, purpose, and freedom. The part of you that has been waiting patiently for permission to rise. Success is not a distant dream reserved for the lucky few. It is not a treasure buried somewhere outside of yourself. Success is a state of being. It is a force that flows naturally when your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your environment are in harmony. It is the inevitable result of clarity, intentional action, and alignment with your highest vision. And here's the truth that will set you free. The moment you decide to take control of your mind, your focus, and your energy, the world begins to shift in your favor. The opportunities appear. The momentum grows. And the life you have always imagined begins to unfold before your eyes. You may have felt stuck. You may have faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. You may have doubted yourself, or feared failure, or wondered if you were truly capable. But let me remind you, every extraordinary life began with someone who made a choice to see possibilities where others saw limits, a choice to take action when others hesitated, a choice to believe even when belief seemed impossible, and today that choice is in your hands. So go forward with courage, go forward with clarity, go forward knowing that you are capable of achieving success smarter, faster, and easier than you ever thought possible. Take inspired action, build momentum, align your life with your vision, and remember, the path you create for yourself is not just about what you achieve, it is about who you become along the way. Become the person who attracts opportunities effortlessly. Become the person who moves with purpose, confidence, and ease. Become the person who lives the life you once only dreamed of. The journey will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. And the beauty of it all is this: when you choose to follow these principles, success stops being a struggle. It becomes your natural state. It becomes a reflection of your commitment to yourself, your growth, and the extraordinary life you are here to live. So rise. Take that first deliberate step today, and never forget the power to achieve, the power to grow, the power to create a life beyond your wildest imagination. It has always been inside you, and now you have the blueprint to bring it to life, smarter, faster, and easier than ever before. Your time is now. Your life is now. Your success is waiting. Step into it fully.